Thank you. So my name is Saurabh. I'm the founder of Across the Globe. I'll just take a quick minute to brief you about what we are doing, what Across the Globe is, and what is it that we are trying to do. So Across the Globe is a professional social network where people of like-minded interest across the globe can connect, collaborate, and grow with their combined passion. So if you are into startups or engineering or dancing or yoga, you can connect to everyone who has a similar interest on the platform. Can connect, ask questions, see all the events nearby or across the globe, and see jobs, internships, and also see education on the platform. We have apps live on both the Android as well as the iOS store, though the iOS app just went live last week. So right now we are growing a lot in the student community and conducting a lot of um, activities through which we can help connect students with opportunities. So this right now is one such thing that we are trying to do, where we can connect students to opportunities by connecting them to professionals like you. So that's it. So I'll take a minute to introduce you for people who still don't know. So, hi everyone. Today we ATG has a webinar on how to leverage your personal brand and ace interviews. And today's speaker we have is Mr. Vinay Pushpakatran. Mr. Vinay is coming with over 16 years of experience, and he's a professional speaker, sales coach, and a communication mentor. He enables organizations to multiply their sales revenues by curating powerful and engaging customer experiences. He also runs a venture, Future Impact Learning, that teaches people public speaking skills. And when he's not on the job, he loves to watch movies and follow cricket and travel. Your specialities, I think, include consumer marketing, product development, brand engagement, consumer behavior, communication skills, consumer packaged goods, procurement, and business operations. Please let me know if I missed anything in that. Okay. So today we have a lot of people from different colleges in India, and right now they would be really willing to learn about what you have to say regarding how to develop your brand and ace interviews, as well as me though.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to, I can't wait to start the session and engage with all these young people out here.
Sure. So,
are we starting off right away, or do we wait for a few minutes? How do you want to go about that?
I think we can wait for a couple of minutes. People
Sure.
are still joining in.
Sure.
We'll get started at 7:10 p.m. sharp. So, Mr. Vinay, how is the lockdown? How has the lockdown impacted you and your organization?
Well, first of all, it came out of the left side, or we really didn't, see it coming at all, at least to this extent. And as far as we are concerned, as an organization, we saw it as an amazing opportunity, and we took some time to leverage the virtual side of the business, because as you're aware, we are public speaking and communication skills are often uh, a skill which is used to being done on a on a offline or a real format, not on the virtual platform. So we took our own time and we created content which is consumable on the virtual platform. And so after that, once we started off, we managed to reach out to a lot more students than we were ever. So yes, as far as the pivoting during the lockdown worked really well for us. We were able to reach out to more students. We were able to offer more unique programs. And yes, even once this phase is over, we are definitely looking forward to balancing the offline and online mode of the business completely.
That's great to hear. So,
How
with
about you? How has the lockdown impacted the way your organization functions?
so across the globe, mostly functions offline. We have very mostly operates online. We have a very little offline presence. So whenever the lockdown came and it impacted, our productivity actually went up. So we were surprised at the time that how the lockdown has impacted us in a positive way in terms of the operations and the work. But apart
Right.
from that, it's also not to be sadistic, but it's also good to see some positive outcomes of what's going on right now, um, especially towards the environment and also towards people taking care of themselves and getting more self-dependent. So that's really a good learning out of this experience.
Right. Absolutely. In fact, digital is definitely the way forward. What the lockdown has done is that it has just uh, preponed things. It just made people jumpstart into the new way of things. That's about it. But this was always the virtual way, or the digital way of business and operations was anyways bound to happen. It was just a matter of time. It just got preponed by the pandemic and the lockdown. So
Right.
is my screen sharing enabled? So I just wanted to check on
Okay.
that.
I sorry, wasn't I have. Should I keep the chat on or should we have the chat towards the end of the session?
Uh, I suppose we'll keep the chat on, because I would prefer to interact with the audience as I move through my presentation as well. So let's have the chat on. Please give me a moment. I shall do a screen share and then we can start off straight away after that. Good evening, everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here on this rainy evening, and I presume it's raining in a lot of parts, in a lot of cities, at least where I am in Bangalore right now, and it's literally pouring cats and dogs at the moment. So uh, we are going to talk about something very individual, very unique, and something that we all hold very close to us. So before we start off with the presentation, I mean, as a speaker and as a coach, there is one thing that I believe very strongly is that any form of speaking or training is uh, effective when it's a two-way street. I have never believed in one ways. I have always believed in the two-way traffic. So this is a conversation that is going to happen for the next approximately 45 minutes. And after that, we will have a completely open house, full on discussion. I would like to take questions from you. You know, if something that didn't make sense to you, something that was not clear to you, please feel free to, throw your questions at me, and I will do my best to address them. And of course, if you feel that something that I said does not concur with your thought on that, and maybe you have another perspective on that, I would love to hear that. Because at the end of the day, we both are learning from each other. And I am learning from 84 people. That's amazing. So that's what we're going to do right now. So we'll start off with uh, let me share the screen. And this is what we are going to be talking about today. Yes. How to leverage your personal brand and ace interviews. This is the topic that we're going to do. So we are going to do three things here. We're going to understand personal brand, that as students, as I believe many of you are students in various colleges. Some of you, might be looking out for opportunities in the job market. Some of you would be starting to look forward to opportunities in the job market soon. But what does a personal brand mean for you? That's what we're going to talk first. After that, we would talk about how do you build your personal brand. What can we do? I am somebody who believes that you understand a concept when you know how to do it yourself in the simplest and in the most straightforward ways. How do you exactly how do you build your personal brand? And number three, how do you use your personal brand in the interviews that you face, and what is the scenario that is in the market right now? We'll touch upon that in a very superficial manner, because we are running on a short time that we have. So we will talk about that as well. So before we start that, I'm going to be taking the next 45 minutes of your time. So let me just add up a little bit about what I do. Saurabh has already introduced me really nicely, but I would like to introduce, because you are investing your 1 hour listening to me, and it is my responsibility that I share my credentials to be able to take this session and to share my views with you. I am Vinay Pushpakatran. I am a speaker, a communication coach, and a sales strategist by profession. And I come with around 16 plus years of corporate experience. I've worked in the FMCG consulting and training industry. My core domains are sales, marketing, and training. That's what I do. And my venture, Future Impact Learning, we work with students in schools and colleges. It's a public speaking academy. We focus on the core of public speaking and communication skills. We love to see young people go up on stage, grab the mic and speak, and we help them do that. That's what the company does. And we are on a mission to touch 1 million students, go up on stage and speak, express their thoughts out. That's what drives us. And I'm a member of the Professional Speakers Association of India, which comes under the Global Speakers Federation. And yes, I enjoy traveling. I love watching movies. I love reviewing and writing about movies, which I do on my social media handles. And I also write short stories. So we'll talk about that later. In the meantime, let's get to the reason why all of you are here and you're all listening to me speaking here. So let's get to the main reason. And good evening to all of you who've been kind enough to wish me. Thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to be here. What is this webinar going to be about? This webinar is going to be about your personal brand. This webinar is going to be about how do you build it. And this webinar is going to be about how do you communicate your personal brand in interviews. All right. So these are the three topics. These are the three topics that we will try and cover to the best of our ability in this short session. Okay. So before we move further, I have a task for all of you here. Please use the chat window, and I have one question for you. If I ask one acquaintance of yours, you know, somebody who, when I say acquaintance, somebody who's not your family or your close friend. If I ask one acquaintance of yours to describe you in one word, what word would that be? What word do you think they would choose? Please write your answers in the chat window. Okay, I'm getting some interesting words. Yes, ambitious, nice. Thank you, Madhura. I'm okay, sincere, probably, dreamer, creative, self-confidence, clever. Okay, this, I mean, something in Marathi. Unfortunately, I don't understand Marathi, but yes, I can definitely include, you know, Hindi in my talk. If that would help, I would love to include Hindi as well. Confident, dedication, trustworthy, disciplined, quick learner. Nice, nice, Pratiksha. Yes, quick. Okay, we are getting very interesting words here. Now, let me repeat the same question in Hindi in case you know, somebody was not comfortable with the, you know, with the question in English. Let me just say, आप एक ऐसा शब्द बताइए जो आपके दोस्त आपके बारे में बताएंगे. अगर मैं आपके दोस्त से पूछूं कि इनके बारे में, इनको आप एक शब्द में इनके बारे में बताइए, तो वो एक शब्द क्या होगा? This is what I, ये शब्द आपको इसमें लिखना है. This is the question that I asked. Honest, success, disciplined, wonderful, great. Now, punctual, fantastic, nice, honest, Akshay, great, hardworking, free-minded, understander, nice, Komal, thank you, wonderful. Okay, great. Now, among all the words that I have seen here right now, these words talk about basically three kinds of things. Okay. Number one, there is one set of words which are about you as a person. Okay, which is wonderful, amazing, happy, truthful. Sachanit, yes, correct. There's somebody who's truthful. And the second set is about the values that you hold yourself, which is truthful. The values that form a part of you: integrity, honesty, being truthful, being trustworthy. These are the kind of values that you hold. The first category was the words that describe you, adjectives that describe you based on how you are as a person. Secondly, the values that you hold. And third, based on the kind of actions that you do. So if you're a great leader, if you're a hardworking person, if you're punctual, all these are based on actions that you do. Punctual means you're somebody who always reaches someplace on time. So that word is based on your action, right? Similarly, hardworking. So if I give you a task, I know that you will spend whatever time it takes and you'll work hard and you'll give me a good result. So that is about, again, an action that you take. So hardworking is also based on an action that you do. And humorous. Yes, humorous. Yes, which means now that's also based on an action. That means that you are somebody. If I invite you to a party, I know that you will have you'll manage to lighten the party up with your sense of humor, your jokes, your cheerful attitude. So that's again an action that you do. You make people smile, you make people enjoy themselves. So that's humorous. So these are all based on action. So it's about you, about your values, about the action that you take, which is the things that you do. Okay, now let's keep it aside for now. I'm going to give you this a second task. This is a little more fun because here we will see everybody's reaction in a very interesting way. I am typing a short link on here. Okay. Yes, and here we go. Please, if you have access to your internet, your mobile phones or your computer, please click on this link, or type this link. It's www.menti.com, menti.com. When you go there, it will ask you for a code, where at that point of time you have to type this code there. Then it will ask you to answer 2 questions. All you have to do is answer those 2 questions. That's all. So this is and then now let's see what everybody's answers look like. 2 very simple 1-word questions, 2-word questions. That's it. All you have to do is write those 2 words in that. So we shall now see what. Let me share the screen, and yes. So let's see. The first question that I ask in that is, describe yourself in 1 word. Wow. So these are the words that all of you are giving me. Okay. So the word that most of you have given me is honest. Okay. Quick learner. Interesting. Okay. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Ambitious. Free-minded. Enthusiast. Okay. Ambitious is now gaining in votes. So there are more votes coming for ambitious. Honest is still number 1. Okay, we have hard worker moving up as well. Yeah, Imandar, absolutely correct. Yes. So this is what you think of yourself, that this is how you perceive yourself. Nice. This is wonderful. This is absolutely amazing. 42 of you have answered, and thank you so much. Let's look at how the second question is being answered. Name 1 skill that you are really, really good at. Let's see how the answers come for the second question. I'm sure once you answer the first question, it will take you to the next one where you can answer the next question. So, wow, 50 of you have answered, and I think honest is number 1. Great. Understanding, management, dubbing. Wow. Okay. That's amazing. That's an interesting skill. Negotiation. Wonderful. Okay. Hardworking. Okay. Adaptability. Okay. 1 skill that you're good at. Poetry. Okay. Nice. Interactive. Teaching. Teamwork. Oh, it's not working for me. I think, Priya, you just have to click on the next option, where you just click on the next. It will take you automatically to the next screen. There are only 2 questions. The first one is the previous one. This is the next question. That's all. Teaching, cooking, hardworking. Okay, poetry. Oh, wonderful. Great. Thank you, Priya. Nice. Dubbing. Web creator. Okay, I think we should web creator, whoever you are, we should be in touch. Good. Singer, 3D modeling, sketching, and computer. Okay. Nice. Smart work, drawing, convince, situation handling. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much. Electronics. Okay, great. Nice. All right. So here we go. There I am, and here I'm back. Now, let's look at what did we learn from this exercise. Basically, you answered 3 questions. 2 questions you answered on the website, and 1 question you answered here in chat. First question that I asked you to do was, of the first question, that is, describe yourself in 1 word, which you answered on the website. Number 2 is a question which I asked you first and you answer on the chat, which is, if I ask one person, one acquaintance of yours, to describe you in 1 word, what would that 1 word be? And number 3, what is that 1 skill, 1 single skill that you're really, really good at? So these are the 3 things that you answered. Now, how is that connected to personal brand and interviews? Let's look at that. What is your personal brand? What is your personal brand is a sum total of 3 questions, friends. Now, first question, who are you? Who are you is not just your name. No, there's more to you. Number 2, what are your values and skills? And number 3, what is your positioning in the market? Now, this is the definition of personal brand. To make it very simple, the first question is, who are you? Which means that what defines you as a person? Now, this could be the way you describe yourself. That, yes, I am a hardworking youngster who's looking at a career in web development. Now, that is I am a listener. Yes, I am a learner. Oh, yes, learner is an amazing. That's an absolutely amazing way you can describe your own identity. Yes, I am a learner. I mean, I would say that I am also a learner because every time I have a webinar, every time I have a session, I learn something from my audience, and I hope that my audience also learns something from me. So, who are you? So what is that 1 word that you use to describe yourself? That is who you are. Now, do not always depend on just the way you think you are. Always look at the second answer that you gave, that what does the world think of you in 1 word? What does the people who know you think of you in 1 word? And then see those words. If there is a balance in it, then the way you perceive yourself is the way the world perceives you. The way you see yourself is the way the world sees you. If there is not a match, then I will tell you what to do after that. What are your values and skills? What are your values and skills? Now, what are your values? Values are those things which you hold very close to your heart. Those are those things that define you as a person. Now, what are those things? The values are things like honesty, integrity, transparency, being open-minded. These are all the values that you believe in. Values are those things that you may not be able to touch, and like those are not tangible things that you can touch and feel. No, those are those things that you believe in. Commitment, dedication, hardworking, these are all values. Which value would you associate with? What are the things that are most important? For example, if you are somebody who cannot stand people who lie, who cannot stand people, then honesty is a value that you hold very strong, which means that you're okay with other things, which means that if you were recruiting somebody for your company, then even if the person is a little low on skill, it's okay. But if the person does not tell the truth, you will not be comfortable with that. So your values are the things that you hold strongest to your heart, which you hold closest to your heart. Those are your values. Now, what are the skills that you possess? Now, skills are the things which convert to action. Now, what are the skills that we are talking about here? Skills are multiple. Communication is number one skill. Number one skill, because that is something. Now, skills can be multiple. You might be a creative person. You might be a creator. You might be an artist. You might be a performer. Being a performance artist is a skill. So you are a classical performer. You are a performance artist. You might be a singer. You might be a dancer. Making amazing dishes out of absolutely any raw material, cooking absolutely amazing dishes. That could be a skill that you're very good at. So those are your skills. Then what is your positioning in the market? Which means that what do multiple people around you. Now here, let's look at from the job market point of view. If you are applying for a job, what is the way that you are going to be seen by that company? How does the company see you? What is the first thing that the company sees of you? Your CV or your profile on Naukri.com or your profile on LinkedIn or Monster or whatever. That's the first that they see of you. Then after that, what do they see of you? They see you in person. They hear you when they take a telephonic interview with you, right? What happens right after that? If you cross the telephonic interview, you are called for a face-to-face interview. Then they see you come for the interview, they talk to you, they get to know you better. And then after that, if they hire you, you're working for them, and then the entire circle gets completed. So right from the first moment when they see you, what is the position? And now, before they hire you, they might even want to go online and see about you. Today, approximately 64% employers use social media platforms to check people out. No, please understand, there's a big difference here. Checking people out on social media is not to select them. Checking people out on social media is only to make sure there is nothing that makes them want to eliminate them, which means that if you have an absolutely amazing social media profile and an absolutely amazing digital presence, that may not get you a job. No, that's definitely not what I'm saying. It will not get you a job. But if you have something on your social media profile where you are seen as a person who is engaging in verbal abuse, who's engaging in short-tempered discussions with people, who is posting content which is inflammatory or offensive, then that is a reason for a company to think twice about you. You may be very skillful, you may be very qualified, but the company thinks, do I want this person in my team? Will this person be a good fit to my team culture, my company culture? That is why a company or an organization goes online and checks about a person's social media presence or their online digital presence. The sum total of all these things is your personal brand. Now, there is a very simple 4-point way to build your personal brand, which I'm going to share with you right now. I'm going to compress it, make it really, really small and crisp to make it simple and understandable, and most importantly, implementable, which you can start doing from today onwards. There are 4 elements, 4 tools that you have to use to build your personal brand. 4 things. The first one, digital. Most importantly, you have to create a digital profile which you would not, the easiest way to see this is, if your future employer or your future boss goes online and checks your social media profile, is there something in that which I would not want him to see? If the answer is yes, then this is the time to rectify that. Then this is the time to clean up our social media profiles. Social media is as much of a strength as it is an open platform. There is no privacy whatsoever on social media. Anybody can visit a social media profile and check out the if so the easiest way to do is type your name on Google and search for your name once and see what comes up. See what comes up in the first 2 pages, because beyond that nobody goes. It's always the first 2 pages that matter. Put your name on Google and search and see what comes up. Is there something in that that should not be there? If there is, please remove that. And now that's the negative part of it. What is the positive part of it? What should be there? Do I post content do I have content there which could be identified with me, which could be something that will add to my brand? What do I stand for? I'm a student. Say, for example, I am a student who is doing hotel management, and I'm looking for a career to work with one of the top properties in the country. Now, what should be there on my social media profiles, or what should my digital profile be? I could be sharing articles, and I should be sharing links about the hospitality industry. Maybe there's a very interesting news article about a hotel doing something, some amazing work. That should be that I could be sharing that. I could be writing my views on it. I could be sharing an article written by somebody else. I could be sharing it on my page. These are just two examples. There is a lot more that we all can do with our digital presence online. And that is something that that's one huge part of our personal brand. Because today, the personal brand is driven primarily by what you have online, what you have in your digital profile. When I say digital profile, it is your presence on not just social media, but also if you are registered on a forum which will come up on online, you're there. So if you're registered in a, say, sometimes when you type your name and you're registered on Naukri.com, your Naukri profile might come up before your Facebook profile. So that is all adding up to your digital profile. Number two, skills. What skills do you have that are relevant for the career that you are choosing? That is the most important question. Now, for example, if I'm a student of accounting, and I'm looking forward to working in a top-notch chartered accountancy firm. Now, one of my skills is paragliding. Does that really help me in my career? No. It doesn't mean that I shouldn't be posting about it on my Instagram and Facebook. No. But what matters is that the important skills that are related to my career should be there. It should not only be the things that you personally enjoy. It should be things that are relevant to the kind of career that you are choosing to have, that the career that you want to have. So your skill sets. Now, what if you do not have those skill sets? Then build those skill sets. Do online courses, do courses, or do learning programs wherever and whatever you can get to enrich your program. And always go for those programs which are certified, because you have a proof, you have an evidence that you have gone through that program and you have learned a skill that is going to be useful for your career. If you're looking to be a manager, communication skills is super important. Do a program on communication, do a program on presentation skills, do a program on maybe negotiation. Do a program on people management, a short program and there are programs that are available in thousands right now across platforms like Coursera, Udemy, you name it, there are programs everywhere. There are so many good programs. Choose the program that will add to your skill set. Please understand one thing, and very importantly, if you are only as good as your resume, you are not good enough. You need skills. And you need those skill sets and you need that confidence to be able to present yourself in an interview. Because if all you have to talk about is what is mentioned in the resume, why would I want to take your interview? Why would I want to know you better? I could just read your resume, right? An interview is an opportunity to know what kind of an absolute superstar you are. talking to you, I should feel like that, okay, I want this guy in my team. I want this girl to join my team. She will be an amazing asset for my team. That is the kind of feeling that I should get after talking to you. And that I will not get if you're just telling me what is there on your resume, right? So build your skill sets. Build your skill sets in whatever way you can. Online programs is one way. Learn up. And when you do something, when you do a certification, when you learn a new skill, make sure that it reflects in your social media, because that is something that's going to help you. That's going to help you forever, not just for that particular job search. It will help you forever because you will be known for your skills. Your skills are an important part of your personal brand. So build your skills. So the first point was build your digital presence. The second point is build your skill sets. Think of it as, when you're going to war, these are all the weapons and armory that you're building up. This is what is going to set you apart. The third point here is networking. Guys, going forward in this 21st century, networking is going to be one of the most important and crucial skills to be had. What is networking? Networking is connecting with the right kind of people professionally. Super duper important, extremely important is that you build good connections, good professional connections with the kind of people from whom you can learn, people from your industry. If you're in accounts, then you should be connecting to the top chartered accountants, and connecting with them is not hard if you are using a platform like LinkedIn very, very well. I am somebody who believes in LinkedIn big time. LinkedIn is an absolutely amazing platform to reach out and connect and follow experts and thought leaders in your industry. If you want to be a top-notch chef, you should be following the best chefs in town. See the kind of content they're posting and then follow them, connect with them. Send out a message to them, send out a professional message to them that, hello, I have read your article and these are my views about that article. They will often post content, share your views. When I say share your views, you don't say that, wonderful post, nice post, great post. No, that doesn't help. Neither that doesn't help them. It's just a bit of an ego massage for me, but it will not help me. If you want help me, then write your thought on it. Share your perspective. That, okay, this is a nice article, but in my experience, I have found something else. So I just wanted to state it. Put it curtly, but put it very, very courteously and politely. And people enjoy seeing people engage. Everybody wants engagement on social media. Everybody wants engagement. When I say engagement means if I put up a post, if it's just to click on the heart, we have Instagram. But I am here talking about LinkedIn. I'm here talking about a platform where you engage by adding value. If I'm putting up a post on, say, marketing, maybe some of you students are interested in marketing. I put up a post on marketing, and then maybe you feel that, okay, you're talking about this concept of marketing, which I don't agree with, or maybe I agree with, and I have actually seen this in another place. So I will just share that. See, I agree with this, and I saw it in a shop where I went last time to do my, weekend shopping. Share your views. That is called effective networking. That's the kind of networking that you do that takes you ahead in your career. That's the kind of networking that builds your brand. I'm talking about only virtual networking. When things become normal, try to become part of forums or clubs which are directly in line with your career dreams, with your ambitions. What do you want to be? Do you want to be a web developer? Do you want to be an engineer? Do you want to be a scientist? Whatever, or you want to be a journalist? Follow the top journalists in the country. Follow them. Comment on their articles. Put up your own articles. Learn from them. That is where networking is so powerful, so very, very powerful. And when it comes to connecting with, say, somebody who's a celebrity, we are always held back. That, oh my God, why will they? Like there are, when a Bollywood actor puts up a post, there are 1 million likes. Yeah, those are 1 million likes on Instagram. We are talking about professional networking. A small little example I can give you, that very recently on LinkedIn, I came across a post put up by an actor and actress, and she had put up a very interesting post on the concept of celebrity branding, on what branding means for a celebrity. Now, I shared just a comment on it. There were at least a minimum of 400 to 500 comments. I also shared a comment and I said that yes, this is my take on celebrity branding. 6 or 7 days later, she actually replied to that comment. A short reply, but the reply definitely came. But the important thing to note here is that people like to engage with engage professionally on the right platforms. Every social media handle has a different purpose. LinkedIn is the number one uh, professional networking platform in the world right now. So please make use of it. Please build your profiles on it, and please share good quality content on it and network with people. Networking is very, very important. When you network with the right kind of people, you get a rub off of the person, your personal brand gets improved. All right. The last part, and for me, this one point is the most important point, which unfortunately a lot of us, including me, have gone wrong about it. Consistency. Please understand one thing, that winning is never, it's not a performance, it's a habit. You have to be consistent. You know, if you write one good post of even 3 lines, one amazing mind-blowing post you wrote for, and then after that, for the next 2 months, you were missing in action. And then suddenly after 3 months, you came and put up another post. It doesn't matter. Consistency is important. You have to keep talking, keep putting out content, keep creating content, keep practicing your skills. Consistency is what gives you your personal brand. If you are practicing punctuality, then make sure that the punctuality is not just practiced, but also talked about. People know you as a talk about time. If you're a punctual person, talk about time management. I'm just picking some words that I saw on that beautiful wordgram that we built, all of us put together built. I'm just taking from that. Punctuality, talk about time management, on why time management is so important to you. That is, and if you are putting up posts, maintain consistency in that. Even if you do one post a week, or one post in 2 weeks, or one post in 3 weeks, that's okay. But maintain that routine. Build a routine depending on what you are comfortable with and according to your time and your priorities. And take my word, guys, it will really have results. These are the 4 ways to build your personal brand. Build your digital presence. I'll quickly go over it. Build your skill sets. Learn new skills that are relevant to the career that you're dreaming of. Network with the right, professionally network with the right set of people. You learn from them, they will learn from you, and your network and your net worth in terms of personal brand will increase. And consistency. Keep doing the right thing. Keep doing what you stand for. Practice your skill sets. Put out content, create content, you will be known for something only if you're consistent about it. Not if you do something once in a blue moon. No. Do it consistently, and you will be known as an expert in that. You will be known as a brand in that field. So this is how you build your personal brand. Now we come to the last part of this section, which is how do you use your personal brand in interviews? Once again, 4 simple steps that you can use to leverage your personal brand in interviews. Very important 4 steps. And these are very simple things that we can do. All of us can do this. These are not something that, only a set of talented people can do. No, every single one of us can do these things. The first one is attire and body language. When you are arriving for an interview at the center or the office, make sure that you look the part. When I say look the part, make sure that your attire and your body language is positive and completely in sync with what the company culture is. Number 1. what is the kind of, how do we know that? How do we know what the company culture is? Always, always when you go for an interview, the first important thing is, interviews and speaking are very similar. Okay. I'll tell you why. Whenever I go for speaking, the first thing I do is I ask who the audience is. Even when I was coming for this particular webinar, I had a chat with the team that that had contacted me, and the first thing I asked was, who's the audience going to be? Are they working professionals? Are they students? Are they school children? Are they entrepreneurs? Who are they? And they shared a very detailed description of who the audience will be. They said they'll be, they will be college students. So when you know who your audience is, you are able to prepare your presentation to them. When I say presentation, it's the entire package. Similarly, when you are going for an interview, understand and read about the company. Read as much you can about the company. Now, what are the things that you need to read about the company? No, you don't have to, it doesn't really matter that, you need to know where the company has branches, and, or you have to by heart that, how many business units it has. And no, that's not important. You have to, I'll give you 3 things that you can research and understand and keep it in your mind always when you're going for an interview about the company. Number 1, what business is that company into? How does that company, which means how does that company make money? So if you're going for an interview with, say, Colgate Palmolive, then they are in the business of consumer products like toothpaste. If you are going for an interview with, say, Infosys, they are in the process. They are in the business of, they make money by creating IT solutions, right? If you are going for an interview at the Taj Hotel, what is their business? Hospitality. They provide lodging and food and hospitality services for customers. So, the first question is, what does that company do to make money? What is the main business of that company? Number 1, very important thing. Number 2, read about the culture of that company. Now, how do you find out the culture about that company? Now, read what people are talking about that company. One very good resource for that is a website called glassdoor.com. You can go to glassdoor.com and read as many employee reviews of that company as you can. Now, never go based on one single opinion, because people could be biased. We are all biased when we don't like something or we've had a bad experience. Yes, very possible. But sometimes, even if the mistake is ours, we may end up and write bad about the other person. That's possible. So always read multiple opinions. Glassdoor is a very good resource to do that. So read about the company, what the employees of that company are talking about that company. So that will tell you a bit of the culture. Another way to do that is go through the company gallery and go through the kind of activities that the company is into. What is the kind of life that people in that company have. If you know somebody in that company, talk to them. So that is going to prepare you about the culture that you're going to be part of. And number 3, very importantly, is that has anything new happened about in that company? Read the news. Read in the news columns on Google, search in the news. Once you click about the company, there's an option for images. Then after images comes news. Click on that news and see if there's any news about that company that has been published. Read that, because that will give you content to talk in an interview. Because this is the kind of homework that makes you stand out of the crowd, guys. That puts you 10 notches ahead. This is the kind of effort and this is the kind of thought that makes a difference. And to all of you, I can tell you that this is simple stuff which each and every one of us can do. So understand that company, and then your attire and body language should reflect yourself and also the culture of the company. So for example, if you are applying for a job in a company which is very conservative, then make sure that your okay. Narrate your yes, I am coming to that. Yes, not your personal story, but yes, it is Sushmita. Yes, I will be talking about that. We're just coming to that. Yes, so attire and your body language should always be positive. Now, but this is a huge topic, and we can go on for at least 2 hours purely. I do a session on body language specifically for 2 hours. So I'm going to only touch upon very simple element of body language here. There are a few very simple things that you can do when you're going for an interview. Is that at every steps, right from the moment you walk into the interview room to when you're seated there, you should look confident and interested. When I say look confident, inside you may be shivering. That's all right. But always put on a game face. Or when I say game face, always put on a confident face. Fake it till you make it. So if you have to fake a confident face, go ahead and do that. You have to look the part. Always sit upright with your shoulders pulled back. Never pull your shoulders in. When you pull your shoulders in, that brings your voice down, that makes you look nervous. Don't do that. Don't do that. So this is regarding the posture when you're, yes, I am coming to that. Yes. So your body language should always reflect positivity and interest. So when the interview panel is talking to you, always have a smile and always lean a little forward, just 10 to 20 degrees forward, lean a little forward, and, acknowledge what they're saying. Maintain eye contact with your interviewer. And acknowledge what they're saying. Your attire should be as formal and as well groomed as you can do it. Okay, we can talk more about that, but let me move on to personal branding kit. What is your personal branding kit? Your personal branding kit is nothing but a nice, neat folder that you carry to your interview place. And that folder is something that you prepare much in advance and keep it for any interview. Now, what does it have? It has at least 2 to 3 copies, nicely printed copies of your resume. It contains any reference letters that you've got. It contains any copies of any certificates that you've got. It contains, if you're already working or if you've already worked in a particular company, or if you've done an internship and you have a business card, that should contain your business card as well. If you have any skill development certificate that you have done, any extra courses that you have done, that certificate should be there. All this should be neatly placed inside a folder, and that folder should always be kept ready. Do not do this, on the prior day for every interview. Keep a personal branding kit. A personal branding kit tells the interviewer, tells the company that this candidate is serious. This candidate is serious about this job, and this candidate has put in that effort to be prepared for this. That effort is something that people note. I once took an interview where a candidate got a folder of things, and I asked the candidate that, okay, I forgot to bring your resume with me, my friend. Can you just share a copy of the resume? He put his hand inside that folder, and he was searching for it. Then he couldn't find it. Then on the table, he completely emptied that folder. Out fell from that folder 3 pens came out. One bus ticket was there, or some other one ticket was there, and a lot of papers were on the folder. And then he completely was searching for it, and then finally he found it and gave it to me. What do I, as an interviewer, gain from that? What do I understand from that? That he was not prepared. He just gathered whatever documents he could, put it in that folder, and came. It takes exactly half an hour or less than that prior to the interview to check what all do you have in your personal branding kit. I call it a personal branding kit. It is not just an interview folder. That kit reflects you, not just the papers in that, but the way you have organized. That reflects you as a person, that reflects your interest, that reflects your seriousness about the job. That's why I call it the personal branding kit. And that's why I say that it's super important to keep it always ready if you're looking out for jobs. Now, the third part of it, that using your personal brand in interviews, is narrate your unique story. Now, when I say narrate your unique story, now some of you, now let me go back to the answers that you guys gave. Somebody said that leadership is a skill that they have. Now, if in the interview, I ask you, where have you displayed leadership? What is your answer going to be? Do you have it ready? Do you have an answer ready for that? Now, what is the answer that you have ready for that? When I say that when you're telling me that you are humorous, I'll say that, okay, uh, where have you used humor before? Do you have an answer for that? Now, when I've taken thousands of interviews, and when I ask a question like that, a lot of students often tell me, uh, that, when I ask where have you showed leadership, uh, sir, I was the leader of my college football team, and we won 3 tournaments, and I managed the team really well, and everybody liked me. And he went on and spoke for a minute. Yeah, the answer is correct. There's no doubt about that. But do you guys think that I will remember that answer after 2 hours? I will not. I will not. Every time you put a skill in your resume, or you put a skill and you tell that, I make a good leader, then the first question I will ask you is, where have you, shown your leadership abilities? Have a story ready. 3 years back, our college team was in a very bad state, and they were looking for a captain. We had lost 3 tournaments, and the top player of our batch was injured. That is when I am a decent player. I'm not saying I'm the best player in the team, but I'm a decent player. But I think, I raised my hand and said that I will lead the team. There were a lot of discussions, and then they chose me on the team. The first 3 matches that they played under me, we lost, but we worked harder, and today we have won 7 tournaments, 7 trophies, with the team that I led. That is why I feel that, yes, I took some time, but then I make a fantastic leader. Does it sound like bragging or talking big? No, it sounds confident. It's a simple football team example, and I want each and every one of you who's attending the session today, you have written so many skill sets that you said you're good at. One request I have to each and every one of you today, before sleeping, please write or think of 3 to 4 lines, a story that you can say to support that, a story based on your true experience. Do not make things up, because if I am your interviewer, I will catch you in less than 2 seconds, whether you're bluffing or whether you've really done that. So I'm sure you all have achievements. Put those achievements in a story format. Somebody asks you that, oh, you got 85 percentile in your 12th standard, and in your college you're only getting 70%. Really, dude, what happened? You should have the standard classic book textbook answer is that, no, I was ill for some time, and those are answers that may be true, but do they excite? Will I remember them? No. Tell a story there. Put your answer in the form of a story. Your story is something that nobody in this world can copy, because you are the hero and the villain in your story. But your story is only and only applicable to you. Nobody can copy that. And that is why you should always build a story around each of your achievements, guys. Please build a story around each of your achievements. Have the story ready in your mind. Practice it 3 times in front of the mirror. Your story is something that gives you the advantage that nothing else can. And people will remember that story. When they go back, the interview will remember that story. Oh, this is that guy who actually, he led a team and lost 3 times. And then he actually won. Wow, I like that. I like the confidence that the guy has in himself. That's what I will remember. That is the power of a good story, a good personal story. So I hope, I'm sorry. Yes, Sushmita, I hope I have answered your question. That, yeah, that's narrating your story. It's not it's narrating your own unique story and personalize it. Make it personal. That is, and when you personalize it, you are not talking about something that is not relevant. You're talking about a skill that you're really good at. That is important. And that will set you apart from any competition that you have. Nobody can compete with somebody who's talking about their own story. So that's very, very important. And last part, post-interview follow-up. This is a small tip that I would like to share. Whenever an interview is over and the interviewer gives you their business card, or you have a communication channel, which means you know their email ID or something, always send one thank you mail. It's a very nice practice to have if you're sending one thank you mail. Now, what do you include in that one thank you mail? In that one thank you mail, you never make it too big and too bulky, and don't ask them for the result of the interview. And no, 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 that's a big no. First of all, thank them for the opportunity to appear for that interview. Thank them for the opportunity to present your candidature. Thank them for the opportunity to spend those 10 minutes that they spent with you in the interview. After that, add 1 or 2 lines about what you learned from that interaction. What did you learn from that interaction? Did you learn something about the company? Did you learn something about business? Did you learn something about maybe interviewing? One positive takeaway from that thing. Or you can even mention something that you remember, that sir, you gave an example of the the football team and the performance. I remember that, and thank you so much. A simple gratitude mail, and you're writing one line about something that you remember from that interview. You know what? 2 things it does. Number one, you're seen as a very serious candidate who's also taking an initiative to reach out and thank them, without asking for a result of the interview, without asking for that, sir, can I be selected? Will I be selected? No, none of those questions. You're just thanking them for the interview. Number 2, you are reminding them of who you are, which means you are putting a face to the name. I might remember, I might think, oh, who's this? And then suddenly you said that, oh, the guy who talked about the football. It's that, that bald guy. If it's me, they'll think, oh, it's that bald guy. Oh, yeah. Now I can, remember, put his face and oh, yeah, he talked about football. Now I remember that. So put in those points, put in that one point, make a short 3 or 4 line email and send it to them. But do this only if they have, shared their business card with you, or they have encouraged a channel of communication with you. If they've done that, so please, send out a mail. Not if it's if they are not comfortable. Some companies will not be comfortable sharing their business cards. Then stop it right there. Don't step into their territory without their permission. Don't do that. All right. So I hope these 4 points are useful for you. Please take care of your attire and body language. Keep your personal branding kit, the folder, ready. Invest time in having your unique story to narrate for every skill, every experience, every expertise that you're saying. I am great at web designing. I will ask you, when did you design your first website? Where's the website? Take my phone. Here's my phone. Please open your website and show me. You should not just open a website and show them. You should open the website and show them, and then tell them the story of how you designed your first website. A short story that can be told in 30 to 40 seconds or 1 minute. Tell them that story that, it's not, I didn't do it commercially. It's just a friend of mine who was starting a venture, and, he was starting even a shop, and he wanted a website, and I thought I will help him out. And then we made this thing, and one customer actually came seeing that and came to our shop. I was very emotionally touched that day. That is when I felt that web designing can reach out to so many people. That's your story. Nobody can take that from you. I know each and every one of you who's listening to me right now, I'm sure all of us have stories in our lives. Dig deep into them and pull them out, because your career needs your stories. Your personal brand needs your stories. And your success will definitely need your stories. All right. So and of course, your post follow-up interview. So please, try and implement these things starting right from today. And like I said, do not forget your audience. Never, which means always do your research about the company. So that was the last slide. And like I said, yes, now I would like to share that, I would like to stay connected with each and every one of you. And these are my, more than anything else, I would love to connect with you, I am available on these are my social media handles. So please feel free if there are questions. Now we will have a short question answer session right now. So if you have questions, doubts, please throw them. I will try throw them at me. I will try to answer as many questions as I can, as much as time permits. And if there are more questions, then please do reach out to me on my social media handles, and I will definitely revert. I may take a couple of days, but I will definitely revert. And yes, I am doing two upcoming workshops. So if you or somebody that you know is interested in any of those workshops, then these are the two workshops. I'm doing a personal brand interview masterclass. It's a 3-day program, which is 1.5 hour sessions per day. And then I'm doing a professional speaking camp, which is specially for those students who are interested in learning public speaking and communication at a professional level. It's a 5-day program with sessions of 1 hour per day. I take only small batches because I work individually with each student, because I spend a lot of time understanding what each student wants out of that program, and then we enroll and we start the program. So if any of you guys are interested in this program, please reach out to me. You know where to reach out to me. So you can just reach out to me, drop in a message to my social media handle, and I will definitely get back to you. And I want each and every one of you to build your personal brand. I would want every single one of you to start making efforts one step at a time from today. And I want to see you all very, very, very successful in your careers. I would love to open up the session now for yes, for Q&A. Yes, sure. I'll just stop the screen sharing. Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Vinay, for an enlightening session. I hope the audience learned a lot from this, and personally, I also learned quite a bit from the session. So, I also have a couple of things here that I would love to share. So we have designed across the globe platform in a way so that you can connect to like-minded people. If you're interested in, let's say, personal development, you can
Wonderful.
You can connect to some of your interests. So if you are into computer engineering, you can join some of the groups of computer engineering or electronics engineering. If you're into business, you can connect to some of the business groups or any of the emerging technologies groups. So here are some of the groups which I have joined. I think my internet is a bit slow today.
Nice. This is a very nice portal. I haven't got the time to go through it or explore it. I've just created my profile here, but I would love to explore this portal.
Right. On the portal, everyone can actually connect. So this is Mr. Vinay's profile. I'll just, maybe if you can include this in your next webinars. So this is Mr. Vinay's profile. Everyone can connect or follow them over the profile here. And if anything comes up, if you have any doubt, right? Right now my internet is very slow. I don't know why, but you can here post an article. You can ask a question, or if you these are more business oriented, but you can always share an update in a particular group of your choice. So here are some of the groups which I had joined. So if you have something to share in the startup community, you can just share it in the startup community, and that gets shared with all the people, especially the people who are near you, and they get to see what you're doing in the startup community. What is it that you're learning? And you don't need to connect to a lot of people here. And your post, if the post is good enough, if it's a community rated platform, people come on the platform, they like your post, they upvote your post, and that's how the engagement goes bigger and bigger.
Okay, nice. That's a very versatile platform, Saurabh. I think that's thumbs up to that.
Thanks. We do have an amazing Android app live.
Okay.
So please do check that out. And please
Sure.
do follow Mr. Vinay on Across the Globe. And if you have anything, please feel free to drop him a message and ask any doubts.
Fantastic.
All right, that's it from
Wonderful.
my side.
So I shall now, I think we still have another 10 minutes to take questions. So if you have any questions, please, Saurabh, are we taking questions on the chat, or can they unmute themselves and ask, or how does it work? I mean,
I'll moderate the questions
yeah,
for you on the chat.
sure. Please, please, please. That would be wonderful.
Everyone, if you have any questions on how to develop your personal brand, okay. All the interviewers trust the story that their interviewee narrates.
Wonderful question. If you have conviction in your story, your interviewer will believe your story. If you show the belief in your story, your interviewer will definitely believe it. Like I said, I am talking about building stories about the real experiences and real, achievements that you have in your life. All of us in our, in being college, be in your working career, we have faced situations and come out of it in a way that we are proud of ourselves. Then why not narrate it in the form of a story? The interviewer will absolutely trust your story. They will definitely trust your story. But if you're faking it and the interviewer is good, they will definitely see through it as well. So do not fake a story. Yes, I hope I have answered that question, Prasad. Yes, Yogesh, how to overcome fear of interview? See, different formulae work for different people here when it comes to overcoming fear of interview. But I'll tell you one thing that works for me all the time. Uh, it works for me when I know who is, it's like, if you play cricket, if I'm going to bat, I'm the kind of person who would want to know who are the bowlers who are going to be bowling to me. What is the pitch like? If I know who the bowlers are, what if I know what the pitch is like, and if I know what is the target that I have to chase, I am much more confident. The best way to overcome fear of interview is to understand about the company, understand about the role, and understand about that what is the company looking for. Once you know that very well, that takes away around 50 to 60% of the fear. Another very important tip and a very unconventional and underrated tip I'll tell you: dress the best. Dress up the best. When you have put up your best looking appearance, the best in the, your clothes are well ironed, you've chosen a very nice shirt, you've chosen a nice tie. If a blazer is required, then you're putting on a blazer. When we know that we are looking very well dressed and formal, we feel more confident. When we appear, look into the mirror, do you look well groomed and very very well prepared? You will feel more confident. So these are two things which I do every single time when I go for an interview. Uh, Dress code for girls, like I said, it's an entire long session on dress code. But yes, what I would say is that there are there are two kinds of formal dressing that's applicable to ladies. Number one, the Western formals, and number two, Indian formals. Indian formals is your salwar suits and your saris, and Western formal is your trousers and your blazers, trousers and shirts and your blazers. So you can pick but please pick the form of dressing that you feel most comfortable in. If you're somebody, as a person who's not comfortable in a sari, you feel comfortable in a salwar suit, then please wear that. Because if you're dressed up in something which is not comfortable, take my word, it will bring your confidence level down. It will make you feel, because you are focusing on, your body is not comfortable. So please dress in something that you feel super comfortable in. I mean, among the formal options that you have. If you're comfortable in trousers and shirt, then go right ahead with that. If you're comfortable in a salwar suit, go right ahead with that. Comfort should be very important. There is no set template unless the company specifies that Indian formals is the dress code for us. Very few companies do that, but if they do, then you don't have much of a choice. But if they don't, choose the the formal dressing that you're most comfortable with. Next is, if there is no any such unique story about skills, then what do I do? Yes, Javale, yes, Suyesha. Yeah, you know, number one, most important thing is that there is nobody on this planet who does not have a story. A story can be as simple as that. Yes, let me give you a very simple example of one of the most. Now you'll tell me that there's not even a story there, but let me tell you a story. Somebody asked me that, you have put in that you have actually, when I was working around 10-12 years back, I was working for Kingfisher. At that point of time, there was one brand which I was handling, and we did record sales. And I put in my achievements that, achieved record turnover of this particular brand. And the interviewer asked me after that, so what did you do there? I said, that brand has been lagging in sales for quite some time. And we thought that, till now we are only targeting the elderly people, that is the 40 plus people for that particular brand. Why don't we change the packaging and introduce it to the younger people, which is the 25 to 40 age group people? Why don't we present to that? We just tried that and it worked like a charm, because I just realized that, yes, it's all about reaching the right kind of people. Now, this is not a, mind-blowing story, or this is not a story which will make somebody think, wow, oh my God. No, it's a very regular, simple story that a sales guy will tell you. But you just narrate it in the form of a story. The skill is in forming a story out of it. You have to prepare. This is not something that happens impromptu, guys. Okay. You have to prepare for it. You have to prepare to narrate that story. That is where the difference is. Next question. Can you tell few lines to write to company after interview is over? What would you write to a company after your interview of web designing? The message is very, very simple. It's not about which job or what industry you're in. The letter to the interview has only two sections, two parts. That can be in 2 lines, that can be in 4 lines, not beyond that. Number one, gratitude. Thank them for the time and the opportunity to meet them for the interview at their office. And second part is what you learned and what did you take back from that interview? That, oh wow, this is an amazing thing. I really enjoyed learning about your company and the culture and the way you handle employee issues. That was very nicely put. I remember that story very well. That's it. Something that was interesting about the interview. Just thank them for that and write them. Interview of web designing, it's very simple. Maybe during the interview, they may have asked you something regarding the kind of work that you have done, and you might have also asked them that what is the kind of work that the web designers in that company do. They might have shared that with you. What do you tell them? So that is something that you mentioned in the letter, that the discussion about the web designing opportunities in your company was amazing. I was really impressed by that. Just write that, and thank you once again for the time. And I look forward to being in touch with you. Thank you very much. Sincerely, your name. That's it. 3 to 4 lines, nothing more than that. I hope I have clarified that, Dr. Gajanan. Yes, Manleen, if anyone went for an interview and then he or she is not selected, how do they be able to know about the flaws? Because many times applications are rejected, but how to analyze about the mistakes done? Okay, that's a googly. That's a, in cricket parlance, I call it the dusra. Okay, if you're, first and foremost, it's very difficult to know. It's very difficult to know on what basis you have been rejected. I'll be very honest up there. It's very difficult because most companies, most interviewers, unfortunately, I make it a point when a candidate contacts me and asks me why he has not been selected, I share, but then it does not happen too many times. I know that in several cases, even I myself have not, when there is, a question by the candidate, why was I not selected? Unfortunately, it's very difficult to know that. So yes, if you know somebody in the organization and you get through them through networking, like I said, networking, then that makes sense. Otherwise, you will have to introspect what could have gone wrong. Another way to do that, this is something that requires a lot of observation. When you're giving the answers in the interview, look at that point of your interview where they were looking here and there or looking in their phone. This is just one tiny tip that I'm telling you. It is not foolproof, but this gives you an idea about which part of your interview they were not very impressed or they were not very interested to listen. That is something that could have no guarantees, Manvi, no guarantees on that. So you will have to sit with people and go through the interview questions that were asked and the answers that you gave, and do it with a mentor, do it with somebody whom you consider a mentor or a senior person, and then go through the answers that you gave in the interview, and they will be able to help you. That's the only way. Unfortunately, you will never hear it from the horse's mouth. Very rare. So sorry. Vaishnavi, marital status is affected in interview? Definitely not. At least the companies that I know of personally, and the companies that I have worked with, and the companies that I know my network is working with, no, marital status does not affect an interview unless that role requires maybe a night shift and you're not comfortable doing a night shift because you're married. That's a different thing. So that's something that is there, but that's an exception. But otherwise, marital status does not affect an interview. If any answer is not remembering, then say that I don't know. Okay, if you don't know an answer, well, there's a very standard nice reply that I like when a candidate tells me, when I ask them something, that I'm not able to recollect that at the moment, sir, but I will definitely get back to you. Never try to fake and second guess an answer when you don't know it, please, guys. They see through it. They know when you're faking it. They know when you're, cooking up something right there and then presenting it. They know it. Because interviewers go at all the body language and the micro indications that you give. When you look to your right side, when you look to your left side, they know that. So even otherwise, if you don't know an answer to a question, it's best to say that, unfortunately, I'm not sure about the answer for that question. I do not know the answer for that question. I'm not able to, or maybe but you can't remember at the moment. I'm really sorry. I don't recollect the answer to that question, but I will get back to you. Always end up, I will definitely get back to you. That's a positive way to end. Never say an answer that I don't know. No, never do that. Never ever do that. I don't know. Because I don't know, you are closing it on a negative note. Every answer, close it on a positive note. So, I don't recollect at the moment, but I will definitely get back to you with the answer. That's all. Okay. I suppose that's about the questions. I really loved your questions, guys. These are some of the best questions that have been thrown at me when I've done this webinar or this workshop, before this. So these are some of the best set of questions that you've asked. Hats off to you for these questions, and I had an absolutely amazing time. Thank you, Saurabh, once again for for inviting me and having me over here.
Pleasure. It's my pleasure, Mr. Vinay.
And all the very, very best to all the students here. You are an absolutely lovely, amazing bunch. Take care of yourself and stay safe at home, and make it really, really, really big in your careers. I really, love you guys, and wish all the very best for you.
Thank you, everyone, for attending Across the Globe webinar with Mr. Vinay Pushpakatran. Please stay safe, stay at home, stay blessed, stay happy.
Saurabh, if I may have a moment.
Yes,
anybody who's here, there is a small little, it's again a two question quiz that I have here. So anybody who's here, if you can just log in there, and and just the same website, www.menti.com, and the question here is, there will be two small one-word questions in that. Please answer that, and that will help me a lot, because next time when I have a session like this, I would be able to, improve my session and improve my content. Yes, I am just sharing the code with you right now. Yes. The code is 836872. I will just type it here. 836872. That's all. Two small questions will be there. Your feedback will help me make my session better and help me improve. Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Oh yes, I will definitely would love to visit. In fact, I worked in Kolhapur. I love your, the food that you have there. It's absolutely amazing. When I came out of Kolhapur, I put on 8 kilos. Don't even ask me how. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll end today's session then, or we'll wait.
I think, yeah, I think we are, yeah.
All right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Saurabh.
everyone.
I'll take your leave.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Have a great time, great evening, good evening. Bye-bye.